just make sure that the board members are here and can hear me. Tom Dixon,
Here.
Malcolm McNabb.
Here.
I'll note that Matt Fee will not be with us today. Is Brooke on yet?
No.
Okay, so there are three of us. We can go ahead and get started. So the first item on the agenda is that the select board meeting is being audio and video recorded. And next up, we have licensing and departmental requests. Request for an approval of an application for a change of manager for an all alcoholic beverages restaurant license for Overlook Restaurant LLC, DBA Nantucket Fairgrounds, from Karen Singolo, manager, to Ryan Murray, manager, for the premises located at 27 Fairgrounds Road.
John,
Malcolm
has his hand
Yes,
up.
Malcolm, go ahead.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I have to leave about 1:10, 1:15.
Okay,
We'll try to cruise
We'll-
through it.
go as quickly as we can.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Can you hear me okay? I wasn't.
Yes,
Okay,
Amy, go ahead.
great. Thank you so much. Before, as we get into this change of manager, we have several, obviously, today. It's a long list. I wanted to just say a couple things that can be cut and paste for all of these, that we have in recent weeks put together more comprehensive liquor license manager guide and an agreement that we're going to have everyone sign annually, as far as making sure we're all clear on the responsibilities of a liquor license manager. We've run into some compliance issues and, oh, I didn't get your email, so that's why I didn't renew situations. There are certain things that we want to make sure everyone who's taking on the role of a liquor license manager understands, as we're getting up to over 100 and 15 liquor licenses, that they're going to need to make sure that they keep everything in order and understand as they take it on. So just quickly, if I may, overview of what it's going to be is understanding the responsibility is we see them as the main contact and overseeing daily oversight of this alcohol service, ensuring compliance with all applicable laws and regulations, and knowing the local Chapter 207 MGL 138 and the ABCC regulations, happy hour regulations, things of that sort, understanding the nuances of Massachusetts liquor laws. They're responsible for training and supervision of staff. They act as a primary contact for us in the town and enforcement agencies, and they must maintain required documentation on site. We saw a couple instances this weekend of everyone opening up and not knowing where their occupancy number was, or things of that sort. So we're asking the liquor license managers, obviously, to oversee that, make sure their staff is trained, and obviously, if they're not on site, having a backup and others that are responsible for those things without us needing to remind them all the time. So just wanted to put that above board of all of these. And as we go through these, that these folks understand that is a responsibility that they'll be signing off on in these cases. So we'll go to this first one.
Amy,
With
can I just
Fairgrounds.
stop you for 1 second?
Yes.
Because I just wanted to note that Brooke Moore is with us now.
Okay.
Hi, Brooke.
Hi, Brooke.
Now go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. So any questions for the board on that, or that seems standard? Great. Great. So we'll move on to Mr. Murray, Ryan Murray, who's here, will be taking over. They just opened, so making a shift right now at Fairgrounds. And again, I'll say this is an annual all alcoholic beverages license. So Mr. Murray will need to know that November is his month where he needs to be in contact with us. If he doesn't hear from us, that's your renewal. And make sure that you understand that. And yeah, I'm good. I'll turn that over to the board.
Okay, any questions?
None for me.
Is there a motion?
Motion to close the public hearing?
No public hearing.
Not
This
a
is
public
just a
hearing.
filler item.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Move approval?
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor by roll call: Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. And next up, we have a request for an approval of an application for change of manager for an annual all alcoholic beverages hotel license from VTT Nantucket Inn LLC, DBA Nantucket Inn, from Sean Cioto, manager to Harold Jones manager for premises located at 1 Miller Lane.
Yes, thank you. And again, for Mr. Jones coming in, this is an annual, so these renew and have to do their paperwork in the month of November. And is a hotel license and everything else. He's gone through his checks and is all good.
Any questions?
Motion to approve change of manager.
Second,
Okay, all those in favor by roll call? Malcolm McNabb,
aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Don Hill. That carries unanimously, 4-0. Thank you. Next up, we have a request for approval of an application for change of manager of a seasonal all alcoholic beverages license for the Sankaty Head Beach Club, Inc., DBA Sankaty Head Beach Club, from Lori Snell, manager, to Kimberly Matthews, manager, for premises located at 18 Hoyks Hollow Road.
Great. So in this instance, Ms. Matthews is also the manager at Sankaty Golf, which is an annual license. And just for a reminder, generally, our policy is a manager can be manager of up to 2 locations, related locations, before we start to question if it's too much. So 2 is generally fine. These are obviously related. This one being a seasonal, so that renewal month is in March for Ms. Matthews, and she has had no issues and is a good manager of the golf, so we're all good on this as well.
Any
Move-
questions?
Motion to approve change of manager to Miss Matthews.
Thanks.
Second.
Thanks, Brooke. Okay, all those in favor by roll call? Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously, 4-0. Next up, we have a request for an approval of an application for a change of manager of annual all alcoholic beverages hotel license for the restaurant at Easton Street LLC, DBA Breeze Bar and Cafe, from Carlos Castrello, manager, to Brian M. Woody, manager, for premises located at 77 Easton Street. Amy?
Great, thank you. And this as well, another annual license to Mr. Woody, and that's November renewals. And again, too, for all these folks for annuals, certainly need to contact us for any long closures and things of sorts, but we'll go over that with the manager agreement. All else is good.
Any questions or a motion?
Move approval.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor by roll call? Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously, 4-0. Next up, we have a request for acceptance of surrender of an annual all alcoholic beverages restaurant license from C Noble LLC DBA, the Charlie Noble, Denise Corson, manager, for premises located at 15 South Water Street.
Yes, so yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. This, and I just forwarded the signed letter over to Erica this morning, is a surrender of the license for Charlie Noble at 15 South Water. That has been somewhat in limbo. We haven't issued a license there since, I believe, the season of 2024. They signed off on renewal this year. We haven't issued anything. There haven't been inspections and completion of that, but so this is a double to make sure that we release the license so that we may hear the new application later today. So we do have the full signed surrender from the licensee.
Sorry about that. Any questions?
I move that we
Yeah,
accept
motion.
the surrender of the license.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call? Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously, 4-0. Thank you. Next up, we have a request for approval of Massachusetts license for public entertainment on Sunday for May 24th, 2026, from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. for Fagawi Charities, Inc. for the 55th annual Fagawi Race. Full event is May 23rd through May 25th, to be held at the Nantucket Boat Basin, New Whale Street. Amy?
Me?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yes, so Fagawi will be coming back this year for their annual event. The state requires a Sunday license for any entertainment occurring on a Sunday. So we're just seeking a signature so that we can send the completed application to the state for approval.
Thank you. Any questions?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Yeah, through you to Dina. Dina, in the AIS, it says that the event shall not be more than 700 attendees. Is that in keeping with previous events that they've held?
Yes, it actually went down. Last year they were approved for up to 750 attendees, so it's actually lessening the number of people this year.
Okay. I'd make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Tom. Is there a second?
Second it.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. And then we will move to public hearings. We have a public hearing to consider an application for a public assembly entertainment permit and one-day alcoholic beverages license for Nantucket Historic Association's Basket, Bubbles, and Bourbon for approximately 350 guests plus 15 staff to be held June 26th at 5:30 to 7:30 at the Eleanor Ham Ponyfield at 10 Mill Street. I'll open this public hearing.
Okay. So this is application from the NHA for one of their annual events, Basket, Bubbles, and Bourbon. This is the first time that they will be holding this event at 10 Mill Street. So they come before you today to ask for the public assembly. We recognize that this is in a residential area. So we are encouraging traffic mitigation. We've discussed with the applicant that there will be volunteers and staff to help with parking instruction, signage, and they'll be encouraging attendees to use ride shares. The event will have alcohol as noted, and there will also be a tent. So they will have to get an approved tent permit. They are also setting up special VIP parking with valet at their own property at 39 York Street for parking. And this is just an annual event with moving to a different location. Culture and tourism, should you choose to approve this event, we recommend that it be contingent on the required permits as well as an approved parking plan through public safety. And Robin London and Stacy Stewart are here for any questions you may have.
Thank you. Brooke?
Yeah, my only question was the parking plan. It didn't seem clear to me that it was valet because it's quite a distance actually from the Ponyfield to that lot on York Street. So I was just worried about lots of people walking. So as long as it's a valet service so people can get out at the venue site and not be walking, in bunches between the two. That was my only thought.
Tom?
Yeah, my thought on this is in the agenda item summary, there is a request for the event was 240 people last year and wants to go up to 350 this year. This seems like sort of a small spot for 350. Maybe Ms. London can comment on kind of what their thinking is with expanding it and any mitigations they've thought of to increase the attendee count.
Hi, can you all hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, great. Thank you. Are you talking the event that was at the Eleanor Ham Ponyfield last year? When you say 240, or our event for baskets and bubbles?
Oh, maybe these are out of order on my agenda, or I misread it. So, excuse me then. In this instance, are you wanting to increase through you from the chair to you? Increase the attendees this year?
Oh, someone has feedback.
Okay.
Is it an increase?
I'm
Sorry.
gonna share the screen real quick so everybody can see the AIS, because I think, Tom, you're right.
Yes.
It says right
Um,
here, the last BBB event was June 27th with 240 guests.
That is correct. This is Stacy Stewart, which I manage these events. So last year, you're right, we had 240 that actually attended our event. We wanted to make sure that we were covering in case we did have a little bit of an increase. So the 350 would be the maximum. Most likely, we'll probably looking at that number come in at 320, maybe 325. But if you'd like us to pull that number down, we certainly can do that. Tickets are not, I think we've sold right now 140 tickets. Yes, 140 tickets. So we're happy to, curtail that number if you select.
Just so you know, I think maybe two of you are in the same room. Make sure you're muted when you're not speaking because there's a lot of feedback. Brooke?
Yeah, to Tom's point, I think it dovetails with my question about parking. Encouraging people to use rideshare is one thing, but how many cars can you park at York Street? Do you know what the maximum capacity for parking is there?
Yes, I can answer to that. We have the ability to park 40 cars, which will be our VIP people who
Okay.
get the valet service. They will start, the valet will pick them, will be at the pony field, and the valets will park at York with our staff guiding the valet people. So it'll be staffed on both ends.
Follow
So,
up, Don?
I was just gonna say, so that's only covering, say, 80 people, if you figure 2 people in a car. I mean, Brooke, I think I have the same worry as you. I mean, I was thinking that there should be a plan to talk to maybe the high school and have a shuttle bus. Because this is a completely residential area with narrow streets.
And very little parking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-hour event, but there's going to be setup and cleanup, and it's going to be somewhat disruptive. I mean, this is a public hearing. I don't know if any neighbors are concerned about this, but Brooke, go ahead.
Yeah, just as a thought, did you have an event at this location last year?
No, we did not. The Preservation Trust had rented from us, and that was their event that was there.
You know what their occupancy was for that event? Does anyone know?
I think it was 2 something. I don't have the exact number, but a little less than 300.
Madam Chair, I can answer. They had
Yes.
210 people with 25 staff, so it was 235.
Thank you, Tina. That's helpful. Chantal? Oh, sorry, Brooke. Did you have a follow-up?
Yeah, just a follow-up. Were there any complaints or issues at that event last year? And
There were.
And did they have a parking plan?
There were not any complaints or issues. There was a parking plan requested from public safety, and the organizers communicated that they encourage people to ride share, and they accepted that. And then we didn't receive any complaints or feedback from neighbors or the organizer.
Chantal?
We can't hear you, Shanta.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Thank you. Is it the T-Mobile guy? I was saying through Madam Chair that we did get some feedback at drop-off and pickup time that there were some congestion issues in front of the tent area. So that was something that we were going to be working with that organization specifically to address, because they have requested to use that space again. And just to piggyback on the parking concerns, I spoke to the applicant about similar concerns, because it is a residential area and their lot is fairly small, about seeking all, additional locations for that parking, because we wouldn't feel comfortable approving the event itself without that. And public safety is watching that area because it seems to be becoming a little bit more popular for event organizers for hosting events there. And we'd like to address any concerns before it becomes an issue from the neighbors regarding parking.
Thank you. Brooke?
Yeah, I definitely think that more substantial offsite parking for an event this large in that neighborhood, I think with transportation built in. Obviously, you can't make people take advantage of that, but I think having it, at least we set a standard for this location. If you guys are going to be renting it out to others and we're going to see more use of this, this location, we should have like a standard plan that can be duplicated across events of this magnitude. And I think I'm very uncomfortable going to 350 without trying to implement better parking management with a slightly smaller number this first year and see how it goes. Those are my thoughts. I mean, they had 235, including staff, at the event last year at this location without any offsite parking. My thought is if you add another layer of offsite parking, I might be comfortable going to 300, but 350 feels very impactful, just in my gut.
I would agree.
Okay, so I just want to make sure, this is Stacy Stewart again talking. So just want to make sure, so 300, we cap our number at 300, and that's staff and attendees. We still need to have a shuttle plan in place. Got it. And yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so we will reconstruct that, and I know that we have talked to the high school about other events that we've been coordinating. So I guess we'll get together. Robin and I will get together and come back with a better plan.
Do we want to leave the public hearing open, or do we want to move forward with these with conditions? I mean, we only meet licensing once a month, and this is a June event, so I think we need to probably approve it with conditions. But before we go forward, let's just see if this is a public hearing. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak before we close? Malcolm?
Just for the record, my wife is an employee of NHA, so I think I'll just better sit this one out.
Okay, just turn off your camera, Tim,
Yep.
until we get to the next thing.
I'll try to figure it out.
Thanks. Okay, is there anyone?
I have a quick question, if you don't
Yes.
mind.
Erica.
Why has the NHA suddenly decided to host all these events at this location?
Stacy or
Sorry.
Robin?
So yes, I'm here. Sorry, and I'm the one that has the noise in the background. Sorry. So we're talking about the baskets, bubbles, and bourbon, and then we're also talking about Nantucket by Design, or just baskets, bubbles, and bourbon.
Well, let's focus on this one for now.
Okay. So why we decided to go there? Last year we were at the Hadwin House Garden, and that was a little too small, 2 levels. So we decided to just move to our other property, which was the Ham Pony Field.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else? Tom?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I think 300 is still too many for this with a parking plan. Or let's say I couldn't support that without a really firmed up parking plan. So I'll see what the rest of the board thinks, but if they were bottlenecking with rideshare at 235, it just seems like an awfully lot of people in a residential neighborhood in the height of the summer in a small area.
Yeah, I think maybe 250 would be a better cap, inclusive of people staffing the event, to see how it goes. Especially with somewhat back-to-back events. Brooke?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that. And if there aren't any more public comments, I would move, I think we should move forward with conditional approval. And
To close the public hearing first.
yeah.
Hold on,
Yeah.
before you do that, can I ask one more question?
Oh, Erica has another.
I just am wondering if the NHA has reached out to the neighbors in this area to let them know that you are hosting events there, and they're all fine with that?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
Robin. I have sent an abutter notice to the neighbors and expanding it a bit more, as well as neighbors where we park at York Street. That went out a good 6 weeks ago, and we're going to follow that up a few weeks out before the event as well.
Thank you. Brooke?
Yeah, I was going to say I'm ready to move that we close the public hearing.
Thank you. Tom?
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Brooke Moore?
Aye.
Tom Dixon?
Aye.
Don Hill? That carries unanimously to close the public hearing. Now, could we craft a motion?
Tom, you want me to try?
Yes, please.
Sure.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
So I would move that we approve this event with the following conditions: a cap of 250, including staff, with a combination valet parking at York Street and a transportation plan from another offsite location with robust communications to attendees. That actually, well, and I think that's preferred over rideshare, actually, or that you have ride shares drop at a location where you were shuttling, so we don't have so that's, I'm talking more than I'm moving, but okay, so my motion would be that we approve it at 250 with a combination of valet at York Street and or offsite parking with rideshare drop off at the offsite parking with a shuttle.
Tom?
And can Brooke, a potential friendly amendment with conditions on the other permits that were suggested.
Yes.
Approval of the other permits. Okay, second.
Yes.
Okay, great. Any questions, comments? Okay, all those in favor by roll call, Brooke Moore?
Aye.
Tom Dixon?
Aye.
Don Hill? That carries unanimously 3-0. Thank you for working with us. Maybe we can
Thank you.
expand in the future if this works out really well with the shuttle service. Okay, next up, we are going to open a public hearing to consider an application for public assembly entertainment permit and one-day all alcoholic beverage license for Nantucket Historical Association's Nantucket by Design opening party for approximately 320 guests plus 20 staff to be held July 13th, 5:30 to 7 at the Eleanor Ham Ponyfield at 10 Mill Street. I'm going to assume that we are going to be going in a very similar direction, but we have a public hearing. Or is there anyone wishing to speak?
So Stacy Stewart, again,
Yes.
Understand the provisions from the previous one. I think we might try and look at another location as well. And if so, we'll kind of jump on that immediately and just try and get all of our paperwork resubmitted. Is that acceptable with, and again, it would be at a location that we probably would make sure that our numbers are correct and we kind of take into consideration shuttles as well as, valet if we are going to work on that.
Okay, so do you want us to leave this public hearing open?
If they are doing a new application with a new location, I don't think you can. That would be all new.
No, I
So-
just mean, should we not act on this in case they decide to come back with this one instead?
I'm trying to kind of figure that out now. I mean, if I happen to say, let's go with this with the same provisions, And then if I happen to get another location that seems to work out better and it's not in a neighborhood area, might I resubmit, or is that?
So, well, Stacy, would you rather have us approve this and you could decide to cancel the event?
Yes, that's, I think, what I'd like to do.
And
Can
if
I
you
just-
hold it somewhere else, you're going to have to add, I mean, it's going to take a while because you have to advertise and we only meet once a month. And that's Erica.
I was gonna know in your packet for this one, Nantucket by Design, the parking plan is that there is no parking plan. York Street is showing that it's not available for valet, so all guests would have to be shuttled or whatever.
Right. So, knowing what we just had in our previous conversation, we did not have everything all in order for this one anyway, but I'm just concerned. I mean, I know the provisions now that we're working with, and I'm just concerned if I find a new location, you're right, we have to advertise, and then it might take a little too long because I've got to get my paperwork in at least 6 weeks in advance. So I think that we should maybe lock in at I'm looking at you guys for guidance.
No, I think you should take an approval on this, but let me see what the board has to say. Brooke?
Yeah, I'm going to suggest that we approve it with these conditions. And that way you have an option. And if for some reason you can't run the event the way you need to with those options, and you know, tomorrow say, all right, we got to pivot to somewhere else and you have to start the application, at least you have this in hand to run what might be a scaled down version of what you've done in other places. I mean, I think just overall, my concern with the increasing number of events on Nantucket in residential neighborhoods, and that includes the oldest house. I used to live up on Sunset Hill. And, you know, we really need to discourage the imposition of event parking in residential areas and have organizations plan for transportation better and parking, offsite parking, I think as a general policy. So I'm not picking on you guys, but I think the fact that you're here before us with a couple of events just sort of leads me in that direction in terms of a policy for everybody moving forward. So my recommendation is that we close the public hearing today, give you an approval with this basically the same parameters as the other one as a baseline. And then you can decide whether that works for you and whether you want to find another location and rush through an alternate application.
Tom?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I agree with everything that Brooke said. I'm also a bit concerned with that because this is residential neighborhood, that field is used by neighborhood kids and what have you, and that it is a burden on the neighborhood to have to go through multiple events in a short period of time in the summer. So I'm okay with the approval, but I'm a little uncomfortable with setting a lot of precedent that a venue such as this, a field, right, is used for events like this repeatedly. I'm not sure that's the best public use for it. And I have nothing but good things to say about the NHA, of course, that the full stop. But in the wider policy discussion that as Brooke was just mentioning, I'm not sure this is kind of the precedent long term we want to set. But I'm okay with what we approved for the last item.
Thank you all. I really appreciate comments and work, and certainly I understand over the years things have certainly changed, and I just appreciate us finding this right model.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak before we close the public hearing? Okay, seeing none, could I have a motion?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor by roll call. Brooke Moore?
Aye.
Tom Dixon?
Aye.
Dawn Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 3-0. And then could we craft a motion for this? But but we do need to keep in mind that this is not including the valet, which would have probably taken about a third of the people.
So I'm going to move that we approve up to 250, including staff, with off-site parking and off-site rideshare drop with transportation to the event site from there.
Is there a second?
Second,
And-
yeah.
And all other
All of
permits.
the other
Yeah.
permits.
Second,
Okay, great. All those in favor by roll call, Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 3-0. Thank you for working with us. We have another one with you. Number 3 is a public hearing to consider application for public assembly entertainment permit and one-day all alcoholic beverage license for Nantucket Historical Association's A Nantucket Night for approximately 280 guests plus 20 staff, so 300, to be held on August 1st, 2026 from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the oldest house at 16 Sunset Hill Lane.
Okay,
It's open.
okay, thank
Dina,
you.
Thank you.
So for this one, it's 280 guests, plus 20 staff, as you just mentioned. This one is seeking a public hearing because it's the first time that this event would be held at the oldest house. Last year it was held at Bartlett's Farm for 300 people, 300 guests and 20 staff. For this application, there was proposed parking plans to include the high school and the upper lot at Jetties Beach. As with the other applications, there needs to be.
Where did you find that? Because in the information you sent and that's in the packet, there's nothing. It says see attached plan, but there's nothing that was attached.
It was in.
Here's the
Okay.
emergency action plan, and I believe I emailed you guys about this. See attached plan, attached, but there's
I
nothing.
believe I emailed you back, but Chantal
Well,
Chantal's
can one of
looking at
you
it.
screen share it then if you have it?
Okay, give us just a second. Or Chantal will find it and I'll continue with the rest of the description, if that's okay. Great.
Yes, please.
Okay, so where did I leave off? More sufficient parking plan needs to be fleshed out because okay, so they were asking to use the Jetties upper lot as well as some parking at the high school as part of their parking plan, but we need to have a finalized one with public safety. So our recommendation is the same as the others, that if you choose to approve this, it should be conditional upon the additional permits that need to be secured, as well as securing a approved parking plan with public safety. And Chantal is coming with the other parking plan.
Thank you. I mean, just right off to start it off, August 1st is a Saturday night on one of the 3 busiest weeks in August. I am concerned with taking up the upper lot at Jetties. I mean, I'm frankly concerned with the date entirely. I'm wondering if you would consider something that's not a Saturday night, because you're in a very dense residential neighborhood. And I don't have any concerns with using the high school lot, but it's a little bit far away. I'm definitely concerned with taking the upper lot at Jetties. It's also, I believe, the Saturday before the Pops, where the Jetties restaurant, who has a contract with us, has to close entirely to take away all of that parking on a Saturday night. Doesn't seem fair. Those are my initial thoughts.
Hi, I'm Lexi Norton, so I manage the event. I
Yes.
can kind of speak to that. So we do have, as far as date change, August 1st is always, or the Saturday, the first Saturday in August has always been the the date of the fundraiser. I understand that it's a busy one. But for jetties, we had gotten approval from Charles Palaki. He had said that it was fine to use and that he had no problem with that. I do, yeah, it is the weekend before the pops. We also did secure the high school. So if that is the better plan, or if people are more comfortable with us using the high school as a drop off, or sorry, valet. There was also the conversation of if that is too far for a valet, then we would be running shuttles. So no matter what, we're not having people just park in the vicinity of the area. It would either be, like we say, a valet or a shuttle service from either the high school or jetties. We also had secured something natural. We spoke with Matt Fee about using there, I think about 20 spots there that he said we could use as well for valet for our VIPs parking. So yeah, that's.
Why did you change? I think part of it is it's the location.
Yeah.
More
Yeah. So the
on
reason
that date, it's
yeah,
Bartlett Park was a much better.
It was
expansive spot.
Yeah, it was. And as far as parking, it was a much easier situation for us to have to deal with. The reason we changed it was we found that obviously, the week leading up to that August 1st, there's Nisha has an event there. The TWN has an event there on Wednesday. There are a lot of events that week at Bartlett's, and just coming from our perspective, we wanted to have something different and have it not feel same in the same tent. And we did want to make it a smaller event. We limited it down to about 250, and the 280 is just in case we kind of go over that number. And of course, we wanted to use our own beautiful property that's, historic and kind of can relate to our mission. It felt much more intimate and kind of NHA related versus a big field at Bartlett's. But yes, as far as parking, we're seeing the struggles, obviously at the oldest house, but really want to come up with a good plan and something that's not going to disrupt the neighborhood, as well as the guests that attend. So whether it's the high school or, again, if, Charles has said that he was okay with jetties, but of course, whatever you all think here. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Brooke?
I was thinking valet versus shuttle, right? I realize valet is more appealing to attendees because it's one stop, but you're also moving all of those cars through town twice, right? They're coming to the event. The car's being shuttled there and then shuttled back. So you've got 4 trips, double the number of trips with a valet that you have with a shuttle, where you're aggregating people and getting them on a shuttle, and it's a bus full of 12 people on one vehicle coming through between the parking and the town. So it's much less traffic pressure to use a shuttle system. I think we have to acclimate our fundraising attendees to the challenges of parking, because obviously people like to be able to drive to where they're going and get out of their car. And I completely understand that from an event experience point of view. But when I think of all those cars running back and forth, either between jetties is actually better because it's closer than the high school. And the other concern is if you have multiple parking locations, is it confusing to attendees? Obviously, if it's valet, less so because they're showing up, but they're all showing up at a very condensed place. And I just don't see that working. As I said, I lived on Sunset Hill for 9 years, and it was a long time ago. And there was a lot fewer people driving around town, in 2004 than there are now. And so I want to be sensitive to the experience of someone who's, spending a lot of money to attend a special event versus what we need to be careful about in the community in terms of everyone else's experience. Again, growing number of events in the high season. So I don't know that I have an answer, but I'm sort of leaning toward the shuttle situation rather than the valet, just in terms of traffic impact and impact in the neighborhood. Sorry.
Oh, thank you, Brooke. Chantal?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I spoke to Charlie Palaki as well, and he did say that he gave them a prelim response of that he doesn't have a problem with it, but he and I talked about it, and he does have some concerns about closing that lot and the upper lot specifically that weekend. So just want to make sure the NHA is aware of that. I don't know if Charlie ever got back to you guys about that, but I also
No.
want the select board to know as you're making your decision.
Yeah, no, thanks, Chantal. Yeah, no, I never heard that, but that's good to know. So thank you.
Thank you. Erica?
Just a question again about a butter notification. Just wondering if the neighbors know about this. And this is
Yeah.
what I'm gonna say is completely different than what you're proposing here, but back when the pandemic was here and the NHA was going to rent the oldest house site to the White Heron for musical shows all summer long, the neighborhood lost their mind. So I just want to make sure that we're cognizant of the neighbors that live in the area. That's
Yes.
what I'm gonna say.
Thanks, Erica. Yes, definitely. Robin could probably spring to it. Yeah.
I'm just going to say we're so cognizant of our neighbors that we don't rent out like we used to anymore anyway. So I just want to make that clear. We are very protective, want to make sure that they're aware that we heard them. And so they're nothing.
Hi, it's Robin. I was going to piggybacking off of what Lexi and Stacy just said. First part is that abutter letters have gone out to everybody in a very expanded abutter list about 6 weeks ago as well. Follow up a few weeks prior to the event will take place. And what Stacy said also, that we don't do any receptions or parties, ceremony here and there, but we haven't done anything on a large scale since the events you were just referencing prior to me being here, because we're very cognizant of the neighbors and what should and shouldn't happen there.
Okay, so you've had no neighborhood concerns.
No, sorry. And we have sent the letters to the abutters, and we haven't heard anything from anybody.
Okay. Tom?
Yeah, Madam Chair, through you to either Stacy or Robin, have you thought at all about reducing the size of this event? It also seems to me like quite a large amount of people on the oldest house lot. And in the evening, it's very dark up there. And I have the same traffic concerns and the Jetty's lot concerns that the board members and Erica have noted as well.
We reduced it from last year, so I hear you that maybe 280 is too large for that space. I think Robin can confirm, but there have been events up there at that size in the past, not raising any issues. But yeah, again, we've lowered it from about 300 to 250 already. So it's kind of, we'd prefer not to lower it anymore. But of course, if that's what is decided. Yeah, and I should also add too, in terms of the parking, I don't know if it's on I think Robin included it, but we have also for our very top tier VIPs, we're doing a car service. So those will be drop off for about I think it was like 5 or 6 couples. So that's also added to limit the number of cars going.
Okay. Were any of the events this size on August 1st or like on a Saturday in August?
Robin would maybe know that. I don't believe August 1st, but a Saturday in the summer, maybe. Robin, are you familiar with any weddings there?
Actually, I might be able to help out a little bit more.
Actually, Stacey.
So yes, our past events, we have had 300. That was pre-COVID, I will say. And it was our August Antique Show Gala that we've been up there. So there were one, if I'm in memory correctly, about 280, and then the other one was like 315. Again, pre-COVID, I know things have changed over the years. So, but
they were in August, so it wasn't like
August,
a wedding in October.
the first August and Saturday, kind of like we all have our kind of week. So we were always the first August and Saturday. Pops is always the second August and Saturday. So that's kind of that we've had for quite a while. So for us to take off of a Saturday, and Dawn, I totally hear what you're saying. You're right. The island has just grown so, but we would hate to lose our Saturday night in the summer. But
You don't want to
anyway,
lose.
we're
your
taking
time
all this
slot.
in. We're taking all of this in. So.
Well, just to kind of like jump to it, I would be comfortable if there was shuttle service to the high school.
Okay.
Take the jetties completely off the table. If you want to have VIP people park, do an agreement with Matt, that's
Okay,
fine.
perfect. Yeah, if we did valet to maybe something natural and then the shuttle service from the high school.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or some other
Mhm.
large location.
But not jetties, yeah. Mhm.
Not something that's going to take away from another super busy summer
Gotcha.
tourist spot.
Okay.
And I see the other board members nodding their heads, but this is a public hearing. Is there anyone else wishing to speak on it? I don't see any. So can we have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Dawn Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 3-0. And would someone take a crack at a motion? Or further discussion?
Yeah, what's the number they're asking for? 300, including?
Inclusive of staff,
Okay.
which it sounds like they have had before.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let this go at 300 because that is like the size of the event that you've had, and I'm hesitant to curtail your numbers because I know these events are really important for fundraising. So, so with that commentary, I'm going to make a motion to approve 300, including staff, with valet parking for a limited number. And I want to say 30, no more than 30 valet, and all other attendees being shuttled from an off-site parking or rideshare drop point to the event site, and all other permits being secured. Did I cover everything?
So,
Dawn and Tom?
Tom?
Second for discussion.
Okay, do you have a discussion?
Yeah, I would just add that I totally agree with Brooke. Doing this on the fly and changing the numbers drastically is not the right thing to do because you're running out of time and all that. But I cannot support at this number. So with that, you can move on to the vote.
Okay. And just to be clear, offsite location does not include jetties
Yes.
in the motion. Okay, all those in favor, Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Tom Dixon?
No.
I'll vote in favor of it, but if it doesn't go well this summer, we may have to rethink it.
And make sure you reach out to the
neighbors. There were no
neighbors.
neighbors here to speak against it because there were so many when the theater wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you all. That was your last item, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And thank you all.
Okay.
I really appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thanks for working with us.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have a public hearing to consider a change for from a seasonal wine, malt and beverage general on-premise license to an all-alcoholic beverage general on-presence license for Nantucket Island Land Bank, DBA Siasconset Golf Course for premises located at 260 Milestone Road.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So a couple things to point out. Obviously the request is to be able to sell all forms of alcohol, which includes distilled spirits, liquor, wine, and malt beverages. They were approved in 2017 for the wine and malt beverages. This is a general on-premise license, which I included that definition, which is the distinction is a restaurant is primarily eating establishment first. A general on premises is usually attached to these types of event facilities. that might not have a commercial kitchen. They're not required to serve food. So the primary purpose is providing hospitality and beverages. So that's why it is currently a general on-premise license. The license specifically is for the interior clubhouse. This does not include the golf course. In order to do that, they would have to come in and alter the premises as we did with recently with Maya Comet and Sankey to make sure that those golf courses were included. So this is the interior premises only. And we included the history here. If there's any questions of the license, we have not had any issues or had any compliance issues with this licensee since they were issued first in 2017. And with that, I will turn it over to the board.
Okay. Is there anyone from the land bank who wanted to say anything?
Hi, Don, Brian Swain, attorney for
Hi,
the applicant.
Brian. Yep.
Just a caveat to what Amy said. While it's technically a request for all alcoholic beverages, it's just for the limited purpose of being able to serve high noon or a craft Cisco cocktail, because those particular beverages have spirits in them. There's no desire to have any hard alcohol on site. There won't be any speedwell, there won't be any pouring. It's just simply opening a beverage that has a particular ratio of spirits in it. So that's the only request that's the reason for this request.
That was exactly what I've been saying, that there's been a change and everyone seems to want this now because of the nature of these canned cocktails. And I think the ABCC needs to catch up with how the licenses are done. There should be like, rather than a beer, wine, and malt, it should be like a closed container of a, certain cap on alcohol volume. Brooke?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It seems as though these things should be equitable across all the golf courses on Nantucket. It seems odd that we have one that's an outlier, to be honest with you. So, and the land bank has had experience doing this. It's the same management company as Maya Comet, as I read. So I don't really have a problem with this. I was, if they were to do private events of any sort, Amy, what would this license allow in that facility?
Well, I think that was the main conversation we had back in 2016 when it wasn't approved first, and in 2017 as far as a limitation there. So, and I don't know if Brian knows limitations on any planning or zoning special permits there, but they would, as far as entertainment and things are concerned, possibly have to come back for any approval of anything temporary, because it's very limited to service. I'm sorry, I'm thinking through this, talking through this in real time. The service is limited to that clubhouse area. So if they were to want to have a tent or have some sort of special event that was outside that area, then they would either do another alteration of premises. It's possible for a 1 day if it was separate from and not including the licensed premise, in an area outside of and nothing mixed. That's a possibility, but in all instances, they would likely have to come back for some sort of permit or alteration.
Brooke, follow up.
Can we make that a condition? Is that allowable? Can we put conditions on it?
Absolutely.
No private events?
Absolutely. We can put a condition that any request would have to come back before the board. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Tom?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I completely understand per your comments and Brooke's comments about the particulars of these kinds of drinks and to change the permit and all that. I'm curious, Amy, could we make it contingent on the all alcohol liquor license on them not serving alcohol, a hard alcohol? No, I didn't think so. But and I know the land bank wouldn't be asking for this if they had some other plan. I would never think that. I'm sure Rachel would be here and tell us that if they had a different plan. So I don't want to see this eventually turn in if there's suddenly a change of leadership or whatever to it being hard alcohol. So if we can't require it, that's okay. But I just wanted to get those comments on the record.
Thanks, Tom.
I will, if I'll answer that too. I'm gonna ask just that question. I'm actually going to a meeting on the Cape with the ABCC in Wednesday, and that might be one of the questions too, as far as conditions we can put on in that instance. They're obviously allowed all alcoholic beverages, but getting more clarification on when we can make those conditions. So, I will take that question with me on that. Thank you.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone else wishing to speak? Do we want to close the public hearing?
Motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
John Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. What's the pleasure?
I would make a motion to approve with the condition, if we, assuming we can do it, that any private events have to come back to the licensing board for approval.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? By roll call, Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Tom Dixon,
Aye.
John Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0.
Thank
Okay,
you, everyone.
Thank you very much. We are on to the next one. Public hearing to consider an application for a new seasonal common victualler with wine and malt beverage general on-premise license for Oswak Associates LLC, Mark Knight manager for premises located at 44 Straight Wharf. Amy?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Now we have heard this liquor application before last year, and the temporary DBA is Bagel Bar. That may change, so I pulled it out of that agenda item. So a couple background on this. So last June, or 7/15, so July 15th of last year, this was approved. This is the location on Straight Wharf, tucked in behind the High Line boarding there. You did approve a license at that time. What happened is following that meeting, there were some internal changes that the licensing wanted to change, and they rescinded the application with the ABCC. So they sent official notice to the ABCC at that time that they were going to take that out, so it wouldn't be considered. Came back this year and wanted to submit again. We can't do reconsideration because a couple things have changed. So we've gone ahead and advertised this as a new application. There was a investor removed and a different manager assigned with the licensee. So we're putting this forth as a new application. Not much else has changed. This is the same group that also has a license over at Bar Yoshi, which we're working on those changes. So it's the same group. Mark Knight is manager. Obviously, it's a small location. General on premise is what it's assigned as, because I've been through this before with the ABCC on, if you remember Nantucket, when there aren't enough seats per Nantucket Health Code and laws that they don't need a bathroom if they have under 25, right? So this is one of those locations. The state told us at that time that it would have to be general on premise because a restaurant liquor license would require a bathroom. So it kind of went up against our code that allows them to have the restaurant but does not require a bathroom. So that's why it is labeled as a general on premise, but also has a common vicular. It only has, I believe, 18 seats at this location. So I will, and then the other change, I think, last time it might have been all alcohol, and it's a wine and malt beverages liquor application here as well. So I'll leave it here. I believe Mr. Knight and Jesse Bell, their attorney, is on for any questions.
Okay, questions?
Dawn?
Yep.
If I can have a refresh on the ownership, and the partnership here only, I know with the one we did on Straight Wharf, there were issues with the booze van at Christmas Stroll, and I just want to make sure that we're talking about different management and folks who really understand and aren't going to push the limits of this license.
Yep, I will. I'll jump in and then I can let them talk. This is yes. So as you'll see as we get forward with the other amendments, we push that to May because we want to make sure all the paperwork is done and all the details are pressed, but been working very hard with Ms. Bell and Mr. Knight and his partner on cleaning everything up and on what the expectations are moving forward. So yes, so the management has changed. Still the two folks that have been involved are involved, and one person has been removed. It's going to be a different manager. So we've been working pretty closely on all of that and all those concerns. So and that's why, you know, last year some of this was pulled until they were ready to move forward. So they, you know, we appreciate that they actually did that at the time, if they weren't ready for it. So we appreciate that as well. So yes, from our perspective, they've done all the steps that we asked, and are aware of what our concerns were moving forward. So, and obviously this is also, as we talked about last year, next to the transportation there in Highline. They understand, and Highline's very good about announcing people can't, you know, bring beverages on if they try to take beverages out or that sort of situation. They can't do that. It has to be kind of, you know, roped off and make sure that that's sectioned off and that their staff is cognizant of that. The other part here too is because it's wine and malt beverages, they wouldn't be allowed to serve beverages to go because that is all alcoholic licenses that can mix drinks. So that wouldn't be an issue here as well. So I think we've covered everything with them on those issues.
Jesse?
Yeah, just to add to that, the partners have finalized a buyout agreement, and on Friday that was supposed to get signed. So I think it's really, we're at the very end of all of that, and we will be providing Amy with a copy of that buyout agreement pursuant to Bar Yoshi and Obar, and so she'll have documentation on that.
Okay, Brooke, is that helpful?
That is helpful. And just remind me, we're talking about different managers than the other locations, just because that's a lot to cover. We talked about making sure we're not trying to manage multiple locations that are not next to each other.
Correct. It's a different manager for this, and it'll be a different manager for the other location. Yes, correct. Yep.
Okay. Erica? You're muted.
Sorry, just had a question. I see that in the ABCC application that Mr. Knight is noted as a seasonal resident, and I just wanted to make sure that he will be here as a full-time manager when it's open.
Yes, I will.
Thank you. If not, the manager should change at that point. Okay, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone else wishing to speak? Can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call. Tom Dixon?
Aye.
Brooke Moore?
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb? Oh, he probably can't hear me. Hey, Malcolm, we're just closing the public hearing. I think he said aye, and I'm in favor of that. So it carries 4-0. What's the pleasure of the board?
Don,
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
motion to approve with departmental comments, as we say in utilities.
Okay. Is there a second?
Yep, I'll second it. Yeah,
I mean, I know that we are all concerned that this is directly next to the High Line. So
Yeah.
just keep that in mind. It's very visible and congested location. But we'll go to a vote. All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill. Aye, that carries unanimously 4-0. Thank you.
Thank
We hope
you.
it all goes well.
Thank you.
Next up, we have you again. Public hearing to consider application for a new non-live entertainment license for the same information. And I'm assuming this is just background music, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sorry.
Madam Chair. Yep, a non-live license for background recorded music on the patio, limited to in and around that patio area as far as noise. Well, their neighbors will probably be louder than them, but yeah. So this would just be they wanted to have any live entertainment, they would have to come back and request that upgrade as well.
Okay, any questions? This is a public hearing. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Seeing none, could I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
All those seconded by Brooke. All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. And is there a motion?
I would move approval.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. Thank you. Next up, we're going to open a public hearing to consider an application for multiple amendments for a seasonal common victualler with all alcoholic beverage restaurant license for Oswak Associates LLC, DBA Bar Yoshi, including change of ownership interest, alteration of premises, and change of manager, from Terrence Noyes to manager Andressa Vidal, manager for premises located at 21 Straight Wharf. This was continued from May 18th. Oh, no, I'm sorry, request to be continued to May 18th. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Is
Good.
there a motion to continue?
Motion to continue to May 18th.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
All right, thanks.
Good luck.
Thank
See
you.
next time. Number 8, we have a public hearing to consider an application for a new common victualler with all alcoholic beverage restaurant license for SGH AC LLC, DBA The Dive, Richard Sullivan II, manager for premises located at 15 South Water Street. Request for determination that the premises to sell alcoholic beverages is not detrimental to the spiritual activities of a church, to section 16C of MGL chapter 138. This was continued from March 16th, 2026. Amy?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So this is related to the surrender we just took for Charlie Noble earlier in the meeting. This is a request for wait a minute, hold on, I want to see if I did something wrong here in the, is it in, I didn't put that in there. I'm going to ask real quick, seasonal, I'm looking here and I wrote seasonal in the AIS and I feel like it's going to be, and it is an annual. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at my own error in my AIS. Annual license for what is going to be called the Dive at 15 Water Street. This is similar, almost the same licenses requested. There have obviously been many licenses at this location over the years. We have not had a license issued here, as I mentioned, since 2024. They've been doing renovations and such. I'll have them speak in a minute. Just to review quickly our usual items for consideration here. The appropriateness at a particular location. Obviously, this has been something that has been here for decades, liquor licenses. And we will vote on determination for the church, St. Mary's, that is 500 feet within the premises. Number of existing dispensaries in town, we are at 108 at the moment with the determination there. Views of inhabitants, we did receive one comment from a direct abutter who had concerns based on the previous licensee having attached, the request was they had attached speakers to the fence directly abutting and had let food out, and there was smells, garbage, and stuff that they did not like. And I spoke to the applicant about those things. I don't see those being a problem, as we've discussed, so I just wanted to note that there as well. Obviously not a new location, and the applicant operates multiple establishments in and around the Boston area. We have found no incidents of compliance issues or such with their other locations as well. They've been great to work with. Couple things in the background. They have been going under extensive renovations, which I'll have them address. There haven't been inspections yet, final inspections, so we will be looking at this on a conditional basis, pending obviously final inspections and reports of that sort. A couple of the other things are going to be entertainment based, so I will leave that for the next hearing on that and turn it over to the board and the applicant to discuss the operations.
Okay. Does the board have questions of the applicant? Brooke?
Curious about the name. Just, it has interesting connotations, so I'm just curious how you came up with it.
First and foremost, very nice to meet everybody. I'm excited to work on the island. It's been a dream of mine for a very long time, going there since I've been a kid. I'm also getting married on the island in September, so it's a very special place personally for me. The name came along because it has multiple meanings. People might think it's a dive bar when it's not. And then also it's by the ocean. So diving in the ocean, it can have multiple meanings. But when you do walk into the space, you'll be blown back by the decor and the cosmetic sides of things.
That's what I thought. I was just curious.
Yeah.
I'm a scuba
Yeah.
diver, so
Yeah.
I was curious.
There you go.
Are there any other questions? I mean, this location has operated like this for years. Is there anyone here from the public wishing to speak? Okay, seeing none, may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second? All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. And is there a motion to approve?
Move approval pending the securing of all relevant permits.
And
Second.
And closing out those permits.
Yes.
Do we need to make the determination for spiritual activities, or is that after?
Yeah. We can make it
Oh.
all the same motion.
Okay. And with the determination that it, however we word it, will not negative
detrimental to the spiritual
the
activity.
spiritual activities. Yep. That's my
Second.
motion.
Second. Or Malcolm can second. He did.
Second, whatever.
Okay. So made by Brooke, seconded by Malcolm. All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb, John Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. Thank you. Looking forward to that. And we have your entertainment license as well. So we will reopen that, continued from March 16th. And this does include live entertainment, but I do remember that there's been live entertainment here before. Amy?
Yeah. So Madam Chair, so this is where I have a couple more things to go over. Traditionally, prior to this, their occupancy was lower, just under 199, actually, for years. 100, when you get to 100 in some of these locations, triggers fire code and triggers a lot of things from Fire Safety Act of 2004, which came after the station nightclub fire. So there's a lot of things that get triggered in that case. Their occupancy will be likely over 100. And I listed here some of those things, and they've made the changes that we need to see in that case, which is going to be the sprinkler system, and also the ability for the entertainment system to shut down with the fire alarm. So the fire alarm goes off, that music comes down so people can hear that and get out. So that's important here. It becomes technically a nightclub with some of the live music, dance floor, things of that sort, and occupancy, loud music and alcohol all trigger those things. So currently we have similar type of locations with that designation in Nantucket. It's going to be Rose and Crown, Gaslight, Chicken Box, and the Muse. And then a couple of other event facilities when they have big events have that as well. So that also triggers something called a certified crowd manager through the state where they have to go and be certified to be a crowd manager, and they have to keep a record of, they have certain things they have to do for a fire safety checklist, which we included in the packet as well. The fire protection systems, as I mentioned, they were putting in as well, emergency announcements and things of that sort. So I know they're aware of this from other locations that they have to deal with. Certainly very important to us and the fire department as well. So, and I know the fire department did some checks of these this weekend and weren't seeing some documentation. So it's going to be something they're very, very watching very closely. And as you can see, the enforcement penalties of that is very steep. So it's a very serious thing. We just want to make sure, I know they are aware of this, that is noted as well. And that also, as I mentioned earlier, the comments from the abutters, which I spoke to the applicant about the speakers being hung on the fence and things of that sort. If they wish to play any music out there, it'd be very low level and low key as well, and not have huge speakers next to the butters. So I'll leave it at that.
Brooke, and then Tom.
There are restrictions on windows and doors being opened during entertainment periods as well, right? No opening the doors and letting the music out. Do we have to state that, or is that standard?
It should be standard, but we can state that as well. Usually it's 10 p.m. But we have other exceptions in that area as well. I know Brotherhood and others that we keep it closed for live music, but that all windows and doors are closed by 10 p.m. But it can be a condition that, with live music, that they are closed. Background music, whatever, but at 10 p.m. for sure for everything. And with live bands, yes, that they are closed.
The select board definitely has made that part of its motion in the past.
Yeah, and I would head that direction here because of the proximity of other venues that have this kind of live entertainment, and we really don't want downtown to be a lot of competing live bands coming outdoors and windows from different locations. So
we don't need dueling music.
We do not.
Tom?
Yeah, Madam Chair. Amy, have they hired a certified crowd manager yet?
I'll let them speak, but they can train online and get a certificate, so their folks can do that.
So in Boston, we have all managers of the LLC are crowd managers, and also with security, we will have them be certified as well. And that way and we do the checklist and all that every day. It's something that we're used to in the city of Boston, being in residential neighborhoods as well. With the door being closed at a certain time, we're on Newberry Street, so that's very residential, and so we have closed that door at 10 o'clock as well, along with the Seaport location as well, which something we're very familiar with.
Got it. And then one follow-up.
Yes.
Amy, in the packet is the Department of Fire Services through the Commonwealth's checklist. Did I hear you say that they did that this weekend, or that they had another review? I just want to see what status of that is.
Oh, that's the checklist they go by. I was just commenting that we saw a location that maybe wasn't doing it as they're supposed to, that the fire department is out checking these things.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. That I've already talked to them this morning, that they're taking very seriously. And then we have folks like this that do have places in Boston. They're used to it. They're used to the ABC. He said the ABCC sits outside, our doors. They know, they're used to it. Whereas here, sometimes they're not as used to it. So I just need to make sure that, the fire department is very much on this now. But I think these folks are definitely used to that.
Understood. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Anyone wishing to speak from the public? There's no attendees, so I don't think so. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So
moved.
Second.
Okay. Made by Brooke, seconded by Tom. All those in favor by roll call. Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb, Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. Is there a motion to approve this with all of the conditions?
So I'll take a stab. I would move approval with all associated permits and requirements to be completed. And I would say doors closed at all times during live music as a condition.
Okay. Is there a second to that?
Doors and windows or just doors?
Doors and windows.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor by roll call. Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb, Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. Good luck with it. We're looking forward to seeing you open.
Thank you very much. Excited to meet everybody.
Thank you.
So I don't know if I can do this, but can we open 10 through 13 and
I
continue
was
them?
gonna suggest you just open them all and do a motion saying, motion to continue items 10, 11,
10 through
12.
13. Yeah, we're going to open the public hearings for 10 through 13, and I would take a motion to continue them to May 18th, 2026.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor by roll call. Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb, Don Hill. Malcolm, you're muted. I can see that you're saying aye, but just so you know,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. Okay, so the next up, we have a public hearing to consider an application for a new annual all alcoholic beverages license for Sushi Sean. Martina Maldanova, manager for premises located at 130 Pleasant Street. I'll open the public hearing and go to Amy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, as you probably recognize, we have had this license here prior to, as I mentioned, it was approved in 2024 and issued in 2025. The applicant did not renew properly in November of 2025, so I've been bringing this up in the other hearings as well. And by law, they must apply for a new license when they fail to complete that renewal process with the ABCC. So that's why we're here. So they are submitting an application to do this. This is a location that's been licensed for years previous to this as well. We didn't really have any issues during the year. It was only a year that they had a license. A couple things on this. We don't have any objections again. We just need to make sure, obviously, that they pay attention to that November timeframe for renewals and such, and communicate with us in that respect. I do know, and I'll ask them this too. I know they had a somewhat takeout food service from another operator that was operating in those premises prior to. If that's continued, it was a different business. They had their health permits and such, but if anything different is operating out of a liquor license establishment, we need to know those things, because there's different kind of things in that sort. If someone else is operating within a liquor license establishment, that was just my one concern, and some of the things that had happened that I heard that secondhand. So just if there's any changes in the operations that's not Sushi Sean related, we need to kind of have that indication. And that the alcohol is secured and not being used and not being accessed. Those folks also become a temporary employee of yours and your liability. So those are just one of the comment I had of the last operation. Otherwise, that's it.
Questions? Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
Hello.
Hi.
Thank
Hi,
you for seeing us today. And that's on me for not informing the license about the occupants that we do have right now. And we do have a cage downstairs that has a lock on it. And also, I mean, if anything were to happen, the place, we do have cameras all over the inside and outside of restaurant. I will say that the occupants we do have do work for the town of Nantucket. That might work here, but maybe not for the ABCC. I understand that. And I do fully understand the situation.
Board members, or Amy, did you want to follow up?
No, it just, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It doesn't, yeah, that's, yeah, working for the town, that's a separate thing. So yeah, it's just sometimes if something opens and it's a different name or it's not being run by the people with the liquor license just throws a lot of different other requirements into it as well. So, that's fine, just to make sure. I know they have their health permits and all of that. So, and I'm going to talk to the ABCC if there's anything else we need to do, but that should be fine.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, do we want to close the public hearing?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. And what's the pleasure of the board on a motion? Or any discussion?
Motion to approve and making sure that all other permits are positively approved, etc.
Okay.
A second.
Okay. All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0.
Yeah, and I just, if I may, Don, I just want to reinforce the importance of compliance. We take these very seriously in terms of how people operate under a liquor license, and that will come into play on renewal, just as a reminder. So, yeah, I'm glad everybody's learning and figuring it out, but it is incumbent on the license holder to know what the rules are and to comply with them. So just with that comment.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up, we have the non-live entertainment license for the same location. I'll open the public hearing. Amy?
Yep, and so, and I'll just confirm with the applicants too that this is the companion license with a liquor license, a non-live entertainment license for background pre-recorded music in the interior. If there's any desire to have any live music, that it needs to come back to the board. Did they go away? So we'll just say, yep, non-live background music, no live music unless a further permit is received, inspections and such.
Okay, Sean, have you got that?
No, anybody left?
They shut their camera. Oh,
They're,
okay.
they're on, but they muted themselves and shut their.
Okay, okay. Well, it's just, it's
Okay,
going
well,
through
I
as
think that
non-live. Yeah,
that'll be clear.
yeah.
That's what's applied for, and that's what will
Yeah.
be in the motion. Is there anyone else wishing to speak on this? Let's make a motion to close the public hearing. Can someone?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Is there a second? All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb, Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. And can I have a motion to approve as a non-live entertainment license?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb, Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. Okay, moving on. We have a public hearing to consider the transfer of a seasonal common victualler with all alcoholic beverages license from the Fat Noodle LLC, DBA Misoji Noodle Bar, Felion Sampson manager, to Nice Party LLC, DBA Bloom Bar and Cafe, Dylan Cavalier manager, for premises located at 9 South Water Street. Request for determination that the premises licensed to sell alcoholic beverages is not detrimental to the spiritual activities of a church.
Right. Thank you so much, Madam Chair. So as you mentioned, this is a transfer. It is a similar, same license that had existed here before, a seasonal restaurant license, all alcoholic beverages, Bloom Bar and Cafe. And Dylan here as well will speak in a moment. The comments and considerations for it. Again, this has been in the Downtown Commercial Historic District. It's been a liquor license there for about 10 years now. First the Beat and then Misogi Noodle Bar. Again, existing. We have not received any public comments. Same liquor license and conditions applying. I'll make a couple comments on that as well. And the applicant, Dylan here, has been great to work with, has been in the Nantucket restaurant industry for years as well. So a couple things, comments on here. Although they're applying for the same type of CV liquor license, I'll remind you, we had issues, the prior licensee, the first one being, last July when we pulled the sidewalk dining permit. We had a great number of issues, had police body cam images on that sort of situation, had a hearing about that and removed the sidewalk dining at the time. Also indicated that that sidewalk was not capable of holding the dining and having ADA requirements at the same time. It's just too narrow during the pandemic. We did allow it, but on the side of the building. And what came up in that instance is that's Chapter 91 license, which is access to public waterways. And the folks with that, the residents that live at the end there, would have to give approval for any sort of, setup there. And they said no at the time. So I advised Dylan that if he wanted to do that, that would be the only way that it'd be reasonable to have any seating there would be along that side of the restaurant, because the front is just really, really narrow, that he would have to pursue that through planning those abutters and such. So he knows the path if he wants to do that. We're not there yet, but just wanted to indicate that's the one change as well. There are a couple other with the entertainment, and I'll do that in the next hearing, but he has all his ducks in a row. Sounds good, and I'll let him kind of describe what he's looking to do there as well. So I'll turn it over, Madam Chair.
Yes. Hi, Dylan.
Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm looking to operate a cafe cocktail bar concept. We'll be open 2 services. I'd like to evolve into being open 7 days and 7 nights. But the morning service will be a cafe concept, fast casual, grab and go, grab and stay style food, full coffee service, espresso, and full liquor, full bar. I will have a menu that will have some non-alcoholic options as well, and would like to offer half cocktail options and low ABV as well, and a heavy like Amaro wine fortified spirit as well. And then the nighttime will be a more elevated dining service, full service, small plates, and shareable, and designed for people to come enjoy a bite and cocktail before their 2-hour dinner reservation, or a nightcap and dessert after their dinner, or enough substance on the menu to satisfy a full dinner. So definitely a versatile concept, and hopefully will attract a nice variety of guests. So,
Thank you.
thanks.
Any questions from the board? This is a public hearing. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? I don't see anybody. Can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor by roll call: Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you,
And I'll
Malcolm.
second.
Second by Brooke. All those in favor by roll call: Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb, Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. And
Thank you.
then for the same location, we are going to open the public hearing for the non-live entertainment license.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So again, yes, a non-live entertainment license for background and streaming music. Addition of live music, which includes disc jockey, would require an amendment. As Dylan knows, we did have, and I spoke with him too, of the issues we had prior to this, and it was another case of the manager going home and the staff kind of little going crazy there, and we had a lot of noise complaints. We had some possible disc jockeying, but the noise complaints and the previous licensee did work out something with the landlord. The landlord's also Dylan's landlord about a decibel level that was acceptable for the folks that live upstairs, and so he understands that and work that out in sort of situations. So that helped us with the noise complaints there, as there's people that live upstairs as well. So he's aware of all that situation.
Okay, any questions? Anyone wishing to speak? Seeing none, may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb, Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. All right, thank you. Looking forward
Thank you.
to seeing your new place.
Wait, did you
Thank
guys
you.
do the closure of the public hearing and the approval?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I thought you just closed the public hearing.
You're right. Is there a
didn't
motion
approve.
to approve? I'm getting
moved.
ahead of myself
With-
again.
Yes.
So
second.
moved with all associated permits.
Yes, second.
Okay, all those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. Again,
Good luck, Dylan. I'm
Thank you so much.
excited for another morning option in town.
Thank you.
We need more
That'd be
breakfast
great.
options for sure. Good luck.
Absolutely. Thank you.
thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
may I just quick, I know that was my last one, right? Just wanted to say to Malcolm and Tom, I think this is our last meeting with you guys. Just thank you so much for, you've been great and supportive, and it's been great working with you. I know what a huge time commitment this all is, so I wish you both the best of luck, and wish us luck too, who are still around. But thank you guys very much.
Well
Thank you,
said.
Amy, very much.
Take care, Amy.
Yeah. We'll think of you.
Okay, we're shifting gears to the utilities. I'm just going to run to the ladies' room. So just take 2 minutes.
Yep. There always has to be one forget to do the motion after the public hearings close, especially when we have 26 hearings on the agenda. It's impossible to do it without missing one.
Can you guys hear me?
Nope.
Who's
We
who's
can hear
me?
you, but we can't see you.
Bob. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. Mike, something we can talk about as time goes on. I'm in the conference room across the hall from my office, and
Do you have
I'm having
you have the video on?
I'm having sketchy internet, and the video says it's loading or some such. So I may not be here with a picture, but we'll work on that. Yeah, I'm turning off video, on video, but there's just no
Do
picture
you have the owl on? Why are you in the conference room?
because I have three people in my
we use
office. I
the
don't want to
owl in
impose.
there, so I don't.
Yeah, I just do it on my laptop. I'm using the Wi-Fi.
Oh, on your laptop by your camera, there's a little slide. Try to slide it over, and that might open it.
Yeah, no, it's not. No, not that. That's all right.
Okay, I'm back. Everyone ready? Number 18, we have a public hearing to consider a utility petition for Nantucket Electric Company National Grid. This is for Somerset Lane, continued from March 16th, 2026.
Madam Chair, good afternoon. It's Bob Bystrowski, real estate specialist for both 18 and 19. I apologize for the picture. I explained to the folks on the hearing that it's just not uploading. Thank you. So
Don't worry.
for number 18, there have been discussions with town representatives and representatives of National Grid per the board's preference at the last hearing. Those discussions are ongoing, and it's agreed that they will continue. So on both 18 and 19, which is essentially the same project scope, National Grid reached out to us after the agenda had been published and asked if they could move this to the next docket, which would be May 18th. So if the select board agrees, we will come back on May 18th and with more, hopefully, agreement on how to proceed along with National Grid.
Okay, that's great, Bob. So for numbers 18 and 19, we'll reopen the public hearings for both. And could I have a motion to continue to May 18th?
I move that we continue to May 18th.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, we'll take Tom second. It was slightly ahead. Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. Next up, we will move, thanks, Bob. We'll move to the public hearing from National Grid across Cliff Road, 6-2 and 6-3.
I'm gonna go ahead and just share the plans with you.
And is Tim Lightford?
Yes, so Madam Chair.
Yeah.
Yep, Madam Chair, that we have Tim Lyford here. We have Drew Patnode, our DPW director, or he was on earlier.
He was just here
And this
for-
raises
Doesn't
other
matter,
things.
go on.
Okay, so this raises an interesting question that you'll see that's in common with many of these applications. And as you noted, Madam Chair, this is a relatively simple proposal. It's to bring power down the pole and bring it underneath Cliff Road. In the petition, and Mr. Lyford, I'm sure, can speak with this, what National Grid says is that they will install and maintain the conduit, quote, together with such sustaining and protecting fixtures as said company may deem necessary, unquote. In the comments, it has been raised, will National Grid encase the conduit in concrete, as there are some Department of Public Utility regulations that suggest that's an appropriate method, especially where the conduit runs under a right-of-way or a paved road. So I just want to bring that to the board's attention. It's an issue common to many of these applications. What I've noted is some applications do say that they will encase them in concrete. Some, like this one, do not say that. That's it.
Okay. Did Tim want to speak to that?
Certainly.
Tim, are you on?
Captain.
Okay.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Excellent. Tim Lyford, National Grid Electric, 100 East Ashland Street, Brockton, Massachusetts. So yes, for this first petition, for a road crossing like this, it will be concrete encased.
Okay. Are there any questions? Is there a motion? Is there anyone here wishing to speak on this? Okay, seeing none, is there a motion?
Motion to close the public hearing, Madam Chair?
Thank you, Tom. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Brooke. All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. Is there a motion to approve with the conditions and the concrete?
Yeah, I make a motion to approve with conditions by staff and the additional condition that it be encased in concrete.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb, Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. Thank you on that one. Next up, we have a public hearing to consider a utility petition from National Grid for this is on India Street.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On this petition, National Grid and Tim Lyford is here. National Grid is proposing to install underground service from an existing handhole at 28 India Street and go under the brick sidewalk to the property. There is no crossing of a public way. A comment from Preservation was that upon completion, the brick sidewalk should be put back as original, and they should consult with Department of Public Works if they need to source the appropriate brick. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Is there anyone wishing to speak?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Thank you, Tom.
Second.
Seconded by Brooke. All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. Do we want to make a motion to approve with conditions and with the appropriate brick to be replaced?
So moved.
Specifically? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. Next up, we have a National Grid utility petition for 111A Old South Road.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
It's Mass Ave.
Yeah, we can.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We
Mass
may have
Ave.
we may have misnumbered the AIS, but this is Mass Ave. Okay, so
No, I
thank you,
fixed
Madam
it.
Chair. Yeah, that's fine. Thank
But
you, Madam Chair.
It doesn't say that on the agenda.
What do you mean? 22.
You'll see the
Mass Ave.
next. Yeah, Madam Chair, number 22
Oh,
is.
I'm sorry. I skipped ahead. That's my fault.
No, it's okay. It may have been misnumbered on the AIS, so I apologize. But let's, if
No, I don't.
would you like to
I'm
do
going
Mass
off.
Ave?
Yes, let's open the public hearing for 8 Massachusetts Avenue. That's my fault. I just skipped ahead an agenda item.
Not a
And
problem. No, okay.
I don't have enough screens to have everything open at once. Okay.
Okay, so again, relatively simple proposal here. Tim Lyford is here from National Grid. You have the image on your screen, and you see that they're bringing underground facilities. They're installing a handhold and 50 feet of conduit across the street on Mass Ave. Now, this is a good example of where in the description of work in the petition that was filed and the proposed order, it does specifically state that it will be encased in concrete. So again, Mr. Lyford, perhaps that is what the board would be helpful to see in petitions where they're running under rights of way. But in any event, that is the proposal, and it does specify that it be encased in concrete. And there were no major issues or any issues handily raised by department comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Anyone here wishing to speak?
Motion to
Seeing
close
none.
the public hearing.
Thank you, Tom. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Malcolm. All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. Could we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve with departmental comments, which there aren't any, but.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. And now we'll go to 111A Old South Road.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
And
National
I'll open the
Grid.
public
I'm sorry.
hearing. Clear.
Okay.
Thanks. Go ahead.
National Grid is requesting, and Tim Lyford is here from National Grid, permission to install underground facilities, 140 feet of conduit. The request, the proposed order, the petition does specify that it will be encased in concrete. The image, as you see on your screen, is actually showing you that the work is being performed alongside Old South Road. And the only departmental comment we did have is the water company saying, be sure to call for water main markouts. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions? Anyone wishing to speak? May I have a motion to close?
Motion to close.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. And is there a motion to approve this?
Motion
Move
to approve.
approval.
Second.
Made by Brooke, seconded by Tom. All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Hi.
Malcolm McNabb, Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. And I'll try and stay in order here. We're at Sherburne Turnpike now. I'll open the public hearing.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This this is a petition from National Grid. We have Tim Lyford here today, and they're looking to install underground facilities on Sherburne Turnpike, 40 feet of conduit, one new handhole. You'll see the image on your screen. It's going along the turnpike. It is not crossing under the road. There is no reference to encasement in concrete, but there was a question raised as to would this be something that would be encased in concrete, and how does national, and this is by the town department heads, how does National Grid make that determination? Thank you.
Kim, could you answer that for us?
I certainly can. So for an installation of this type, we're only going to be extending lower voltage conductors. They do not require concrete encasement in our standards. So we did not plan for that with this specific job design.
Erica?
Can I ask a question, and maybe this is for Drew to potentially answer? I know that a lot of times we like to have the electric wires encased in concrete. That way they don't get damaged when if there's excavating in the area or whatever. Do we care so much about shoulders, or is it mainly when we do road crossings? I don't know if Drew's
not on here, but I mean, I was
I'm
kind
here.
of thinking the same. Oh, you are? Okay.
I am here. Sorry. I jumped off for a little bit, but I'm back. Yeah, Eric, I mean, I think in short, yeah, if it's under a roadway, we definitely want it encased. In some instances, especially if we know or if we anticipate any town infrastructure projects or roadway jobs, drainage, widening, anything like that, we would probably preemptively request it. I think in reviewing these types of utility petitions, I know at least I do, I would assume other department heads give it the same level of thought. And so I don't have any concerns with this area not being encased in concrete, if that makes sense.
Okay. Any other questions? Any other comments? Anyone from the public? Could I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Thank you, Tom.
Second.
Thank you, Brooke. All those in favor by roll call? Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb,
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0.
Motion.
And
Motion to approve with department.
oh yes, sorry, I'm skipping ahead again. Is there a second?
Second.
Made by Tom, seconded by Brooke. All those in favor by roll call, Tom Dixon,
Aye.
Brooke Moore,
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb, Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. Okay, last one, we have a utility petition for new construction at 18 through 26 Sparks Ave.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is a petition brought by Verizon New England. We do have a Verizon representative online. I think Drew is still online, and we have Mike Alvarez, the Chief Technology Officer of the town of Nantucket, who has some important input in this matter. Verizon is requesting permission to install underground conduits on Sparks Avenue. It's a proposed 4-inch conduit, about 450 feet, starting at pole 8. You'll see the image on your screen. And it runs on the southerly side of Sparks Avenue to existing pole 11. There are joint owned poles in between, poles 9 and 10, which are proposed to be removed. And the petition, it's stated, is necessary to accommodate the new construction. Now, what I would just set out for the board to consider as far as staff comments there's a few key issues that should be considered. First, we have the concrete issue, which we could discuss. Secondly, there does need to be coordination with everybody on the pole, all of the utilities. National Grid is on these poles. We do not yet have any utility petition from National Grid. We are awaiting that, and when we get it, we will present it to the board, but we do not yet have that. And finally, what Mr. Alvarez is here to address is what is on these poles are very important fiber optic lines owned by the town of Nantucket, which support our schools. And so it's very important to the town that this work be done in a way not to disrupt the schools, with notice to the schools and the town and our IT professionals. Thank you.
Thank you. Mike, did you want to comment?
Sure. Just to, excuse me, Mike Alvarez, Chief Technology Officer for the Town and County of Nantucket. Just to reiterate some of what Bob shared. So we have, running from our 131 Pleasant Street location, we have an underground connection, excuse me, that runs to pole 8, and then from pole 8 is the fiber connection running all the way up to the schools. This was the original fiber line that ran to the school. This was, I think, originally done in 2010 as part of the community grant thing. It's part of it's how NCTV got their initial connection to the school and so on. It's now an accessory line to the schools. So it does still run and manage some traffic to them, but specifically their connection to us on the town side. Just to note, that 131 Pleasant Street location is a bit of a hub. So not only is it receiving connections from the school, but also from downtown, water company, and so on, before transfers over for fairgrounds. So on that note, I would say certainly I understand that there's some new development going in directly across the street from 131 Pleasant Street and on Sparks Ave, and I understand that some poles are going to need to go as part of that. I would only say that whether it be through Verizon or any of the other utilities, that the town be accommodated with conduit along that stretch of poles being removed, as well as potentially reserving any future space for us should we decide to expand our connection to the schools and so on. We would still require this stretch of pole fiber locations. So that's all I have. Any questions for me from the select board, I'll be glad to answer.
Okay, thank you. Erica?
I will note too that in a meeting that I had with the developers of this property, and Bob was on there too, we talked about the fact that there's this additional National Grid petition that needs to come forward, and the fact that the vaults that are going to be required for this can't be on town property. And maybe that should be noted if you approve this, because there is no room in the town layout or the sidewalks for any kind of vaults to be installed for any of the utilities. So unless they're completely underground, but if you underground it, it's going to be huge, and we'd have to dig up the sidewalk, we'd have to dig up partially the road. So this is very complicated, considering they want 2 poles removed from their work site.
Brooke?
Does it make sense for us to continue this until National Grid puts in its application so we can have all the parties present for a discussion on how this is going to be coordinated? I feel very uncomfortable moving a piece of this forward, not knowing all the parts at the same time.
I was thinking the same thing.
The thing is, we don't know when National Grid's petition is coming forward. So I would say continue it till May 18th. We might have to continue it again, but at least we'll keep that going.
Yeah, we could just keep continuing it as needed.
Yeah, because they can't move ahead until all of these are approved anyway, right? So,
and I don't, Tim already signed off, but he was trying to get a plan finalized this week because I told him that I wanted to see it before it got submitted so we can see exactly where they're proposing to install any transformers or anything like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Bob?
Yeah, the only thing I want to point out for future consideration by the board, and I don't know how you deal with issues like these, is this is not a town project per se, and there's clearly going to be a financial implication and cost to the town, or at least a cost of relocating the fiber optic lines into an appropriately sized conduit for both current and future use from poles underground. So again, I think it's just something that should be addressed. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, Malcolm.
Anyway, I think that's something that should be addressed as part of the approval process. So there's a clear understanding by the utilities as to how that's happening.
Yeah, I don't think that I mean, this is initiated by the developer of this property, correct?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know.
Any
who
costs
is
that are for the town should be borne by them.
Well, that's.
We need to have an agreement in place for that.
Erica, that was exactly where I was going with it. That I'm not sure who the appropriate person is. Maybe it's Bob to have those conversations, or maybe it needs to go back to planning. But the people initiating this need to bear the cost of the town's infrastructure and work around the town's schedule so that the school's not interrupted or any other departments. Brooke?
I have to go to another meeting. You still have a quorum though, right? So I'm just.
Well, Malcolm has to go in a second. So can we just continue this quick?
Yeah. So I'll make a motion to continue to May 18th.
Second.
All those in favor by roll call, Brooke Moore?
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb?
Aye.
Tom Dixon?
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. And does somebody just want to make a motion to adjourn? Or
So moved.
we
Second.
gave direction. All those in favor?
Aye.
What? All those in
Who made
favor
the
by roll
motion?
call?
Brooke and I
Brooke
second it.
Thank you.
Brooke Moore?
Aye.
Malcolm McNabb?
Aye.
Tom Dixon?
Aye.
Don Hill, aye. That carries unanimously 4-0. Thank you all so much. We'll
Thanks
talk
all.
about this. Take care. Bye.